Hello everybody and welcome to episode 71 of the Pentagon Challenge, and the Brazilian season has its marquee day as we have the second leg of the Brazilian Cup final. Fortaleza have been a massive threat to my ambitions to qualify for the Copa Libertadores and indeed win the cup for Vasco's second ever time. If you saw in the last episode, it was a 2-2 draw up on the top right there if you missed it. We'll just recap the match as I saw it. So basically we took a very early lead through a van there, and I thought that would have been the clincher. We would go on to dominate at home, but sadly they got a goal just before half time, a set piece, well taken. Carlau made absolutely sure of it. In the second half we came out in good spirits, and Batista managed to break his goal duck, scoring in the 58th minute, but unfortunately Ayrton came off the bench for their lads and equalised with another set piece kind of goal. So I've been demanding the defensive play must improve, and we're going to work on the set piece defensive play as soon as possible. The league campaign is also going to end on the weekend. The one result I have to talk about is our 2-1 win over the now relegated Joinville, and we made a real poor effort of this, like we were all over the shop, but Magales got us off to the great start, and again, like, we seem to be creating these bad habits. William scored just before half time, and that really kicked our fellas where the sun doesn't shine, and Karecha just bundled the ball in. It was a messy piece of defending from Joinville. Karecha snuck in, just hit the keeper, and eventually decided, I'm going to make sure this one goes in, and he scored. But we were extremely poor. Only 4 shots in 90 minutes is pathetic, and even though he won, I just felt we were in terrible shape, and it seems like the guys are taking these negatives to heart. They're all miserable, and I need to get them pumped up and primed for this FA Cup final. Only 2 guys are really showing any sort of positivity, and I went to a team meeting and it actually went spectacularly wrong. The players felt they're playing at an acceptable standard and they should be left alone, and that just gave me a bit of worry as well. But if we do manage to win this cup final, then it will be safe to say I will have positive strides to go into next year. But the board won't be actually judging me on how I finish in the league. It's only I'm only going to get my full-time chance next year, so I'll be critically trying to defend my job and making sure we do well on all fronts. Fortaleza have actually been in a fantastic goal scoring form anyway. Like, they won their last game in the league against Paranense. They've been scoring at least once for the last 2 months, or last 3 months. The last time they were not able to score was in a demolition defeat to Santos, but ever since then they've always been scoring goals, and it means my defensive approach might not work here today at the giant Castelao Stadium. It's going to be filled to capacity for the first time this season, and their players, if I can tell, well, I don't know what their morale might be, but I'm expecting it to be a lot better than our guys. I don't have the slightest clue, but I'd say they'll be jumping for joy compared to what we are going through for whatever reason. And now, without further ado, it's time for the kick-off. We'll show you the league table heading into the final game of the season. We must win to get 65 points, but results could go against us, and we'll need Palmeiras, Corinthians and Cruzeiro all to draw at least, but I don't know, because I've only won 16 games, I won't be able to get above them in the head-to-head, so I need Palmeiras or Corinthians to be beaten and Cruzeiro to draw to stand any chance of a top 5 or a top 4. But this is the game where it really counts. If we are the victorious side today, we will take the cup and our ticket to the Copa Libertadores, and it cannot be denied. But Fortaleza have never won such a major tournament, and they will be a viable threat. So time to submit this team. It is the best I can possibly name in terms of being in form and being fit, and of course suspensions and cup tied commitments are also against us here. but I'm looking forward to my first transfer window with Vasco. It should be absolutely pivotal to our chances, and it may mean we'll be able to play more than one strategy because of how we have we're spoiled for choice in centre attacking midfield, and I just feel we can replace those with wingers and a few other centre midfielders. They've gone for a very positive 4-3-3 formation with the three of the players being out and out forwards, but we could exploit them on the flanks, and the giant gap in the midfield, let's say, between the midfielders and the defenders, we can possibly own this territory. We can get out in the wide areas if necessary, and then we can hopefully get a ball to Batista worthy of a goal. So that is my analysis of them anyway, so we'll just mark them all up. We'll mark possibly Fernandinho, he's their best player, or is he? I don't remember. No, it's William. William is their best player in the midfield. We won't go too hard on them to start, but let's just see that morale. It's very good, okay, fairly poor, okay, good, and very poor. So a big mixed bag for Fortaleza, but they know our guys are unanimously upset and they could take advantage. One thing I'm gonna have to consider, no, I don't want to have the fullbacks defending, but maybe I know it's a hard one to call. Everyone's doing their favourite thing. I'd rather just stick it and see how it works out. But if we go a goal down, then we'll have to defend our corner anyway. Sorry, we'll go standard. We will exploit those flanks and we'll turn that off. And we will pass into space instead. Let's see how that works. It's a very, very difficult game. If we lose this, it'll be a massive humiliation for the team that has been consistently in the top 5 of the league in recent years after decades and decades of mediocrity. And also we've lost the cup final last year when I was still in China. These guys were in the cup final and they were defeated, so it's time to end that barren spell. We will go and make this our own. We will not be denied, and this is go out there and win it for these fans. They have only seen it once since the establishment of this tournament in the late 80s, so if we have what it takes to win, then prove it to me, everybody. Let's go out there and show what we are made of. So no other games to focus on, it's purely this cup final. Marcelo has picked up the ball for the kickoff. Fortaleza already going for it, and they have the corner, and their fans have come out like never before, maybe once or twice in the saves lifespan, but we'll have to make them all disappointed. Eduardo was very alert there to the danger, but Fortaleza already very strong in possession. They've gone for a rainbow corner, it's not worked out, but they still have possession. William has beaten all kinds of defenders, and if it wasn't for that clearance, we were in deep trouble. Barrios is an interception. Batista runs against the defence, but he's gone from a shocking distance, and he was never going to hit the target. Ivo and Sepulveda are working together. Alexandre, Evander, Barrios. Lovely ball. Batista was offside as he strikes the woodwork, but the passing has been ridiculously, off colour, and we need to do something about that. But now it looks a little bit better. Barrios to Sepulveda. Batista all alone. Feeds Sepulveda. Ivo cruises to the ball. Whips it in. And there was a good clearance by Lima. Evander short to Alexandre. And there's the first real save of the game for the Gustavo netminder. Neither team are really showing their best potential. That's a poor cross. Alexandre though picks it up. Evander hits an opponent in the chest. Alexandre to Guedes. Oh, lovely chip. Ivo, low cross. Evander to Guedes. Batista! Oh, chance of the game. There haven't been many, but Batista just seems to, hesitate with the final touch. And he hit the keeper when it seemingly looked easier to score. Evander knows how to find the back of the net, but that one was wide. And it looks like the strategy switch has paid off. But we're not going to see any more action until the second half. It is time for a rest, and we'll go back to standard. I don't want to risk a goal. Be more disciplined now. We'll float the balls in for this half. Calmly, I'll just say if we can get the goal, we can win. But Batista, I'm not happy with the finishing, and he's not responded kindly to that either. The defence has been solid. I like what I've seen, but assertively, I'm not happy with the playmaking efforts. We can definitely improve on that and see what we can do. Kick-off time. Let's have it. And it is our ball. And look at that. That is brainless, I'm afraid. Absolutely brainless. Just keep the ball. Maybe we'll lower the tempo and turn that off. See what we can do. But Fortaleza have not really shown me much either. But there's Ayrton as well as Rodrigo. That's the threat. Barrios, Evander, Batista. Two of options available. And he takes the stupid one. Terrible from the young man. We have to calm down. Some guys are nervous. They've made 3 changes now, and that's going to alert me to some danger. They've switched this formation as well. We'll look at that in more detail when I make my changes. But Rodriguez plays out on the wide left. William now on the right, wide right. Marcelo's still injured, so we might exploit the left or the right flank where he's playing, or the left flank technically. We'll get Rodrigo marked, and now we'll make these tactical switches. So exploit the left flank, so the right back is in trouble. We've been good defensively today, but it doesn't matter. Extra time is what's going to be the decider unless we score. Come on. Control the game now and be more flexible. Here we go. Nin, Centurion, Evander and Courage. What a run this is looking to be, but he has no one to pass to. What are you doing? Don't do that. Here's our corner, cleared. Megales unfortunately nods it to Rodrigo, and there is a terrible pass. Ivo puts it back into our half of the pitch. Evander, he has to, he's swiveled it. Megales! What are you doing, guys? Oh, this is torture. This is absolute torture. He had the easiest of chances and he messed it all up on me. Fonseca can play there, can he? Doesn't get his chance very often, and he likes playing the advanced playmaker role, so we'll let him be the third substitute. They've made 3 substitutes. I don't see why I shouldn't make 3 substitutes. Guedes to Centurion, whip it. He goes to Ivo instead. Barrios, help him. Who's helping him? Nobody. He has to shoot from the acute angle, and it was never going to work. Fortaleza are definitely parking the bus, but if they score this once, one opportunity, I will be livid. Rodriguez, good interception. It's all Vasco da Gama here. Correia, Megales, that's a great saving tackle. We have been so much better. We have nothing to show for it, and we'll just have to, I don't know what to do. We can't go too attacking. We might go fluid, be more expressive, pass into space, mix up the crossing again. Barrios to Guedes. There it is! It's Courageous header! 25 goals for the season! It's now tighten up time. They are angry. Here's the set piece and Ayrton! Oh, it's nearly deja vu. Oh, I would have been livid with that. The second chance of the game, highly structured. That's what's needed here. And Vasco are now waiting for their chance to become the cup winners for only the second time. Retain possession, turn that off, turn that on, waste time, balanced and normal tempo. Oh my god, don't let me down now, guys. Just do what you have to do. Don't let them back in the game. Maybe score the second. I'd love that if you could. Courage, the cup winner in waiting. Passes Evander back to Courage. Megales! Oh, what a save. Absolutely well done to their goalkeeper. I cannot fault him for anything today. But Barrios wasting time. Good to see from my perspective, not from the spectacles point of view. Courage nods it back into the box. And Fortaleza, they're going to have to really push forward. They have 2 strikers as opposed to 3 now. Megales, do what you have to. Cuts it outside to the byline. Corner kick. Well played. Really good job there. Barrios indicating what he wants to see his teammates do. Fonseca into the danger zone! And we are the cup winners! Corecha, the super sub, has given Vasco da Gama the silverware, and it is a muted celebration. We are not really too proud of beating the underdogs, but we are playing Copa Libertadores football in the next season, and that really gives me confidence after the difficult second half of my season with Vasco da Gama. But thank the Lord, Corecha has been the courageous leader tonight. We are celebrating a cup. I don't know if that boosts my reputation, but well done to the defenders. They were truly outstanding. They didn't let anything by them for the vast majority of the game. Evander superb, Ivo again, Barrios excellent, and man of the match should have been Corecha, but I decided to give him a rest, and he came up fantastically when I was in real need of somebody to be a hero. But anyway, deep breath. We are the winners of this cup. 2-0 is a decisive win, and I really need to breathe after that. We do gain a little extra star, yes, that's decent reputation, 40% for me. That makes me so much happier that I have something else to celebrate on my CV. Achievements, Brazilian Cup winners. How many Vasco da Gama managers can say they've done that? The answer is just the one in the past. But well done to these guys. They helped me win this tournament, and I've never won a cup until this moment, and that's a magnificent feeling. We've got a bit of prize money, but basically it's going to be all paid out to those players, and they haven't won it since 2011, and I'm so happy with that. The board are very pleased. I have to read, yeah, there we go, we got Copa Libertadores qualification, something that has eluded the club that in their history, so we'll try and do something about that. We got good money. I'm happy with that. We'll see how it looks like. Yeah, that's very healthy. I'm delighted with that. We can even make a few sales as well. See who wants to stay and who wants to go. But lots and lots of messages to read. And we'll come back in just 3 days time for the Santos game. See if we can qualify in the top 5 and just make sure the qualification isn't in vain, and we'll try and eliminate someone else from the tournament. Well, basically we've already eliminated Corinthians or Cruzeiro from the qualification, but Palmeiras aren't safe either, and neither are Grêmio. So we'll see you when we play Santos at home, our last ever game at the São Januário, and I hope you can join me for that. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.